currently the student body president at Jonathan Matthews High School in Silent City. He's the founder of the Chatham Team Democrats in Silent City. He's the secretary of the North Carolina Youth Advisory Council. He's earned over 500 hours of community service. He's presented policy to multiple seminars, participated in roundtables, spoken at leadership and adversary groups. He's our future. We need more like Giancarlo's. John?
I've been able to stand in rooms that were never meant for me. This country has told us that we live in a democracy, but what we see being built looks more like a monarchy. A kingdom ruled not by bloodlines, but by billionaires, lobbyists, and men who think their God was appointed them to rule over us. They call themselves patriots. They wrap their power in flags and scriptures. But make no mistake, this isn't about faith. It's about control. It's about Christian nationalism, a political movement well-funded and well-organized, designed to replace democracy with domination. Yes. Its blueprint, Project 2025, is not a conspiracy, it's a confession. Yes. A plan to replace civil servants with loyalists, to erase words like gender equality and reproductive rights, and to turn this nation into theocracy disguised as freedom. But the Jesus I know, the one I love and serve, was an immigrant. He healed the sick, he fed the hungry, he didn't build cages, he broke them open. And none of this cruelty, not the greed, not the hatred, not the division, is done with love. And nowhere is that cruelty more visible than in the detention centers, where children sleep on concrete floors under foil blankets, where families are torn apart for their crime of seeking safety. They want our labor, but not our humanity. They want our hands, but not our voices. They want our silence, but I refuse to be silent, because no one is illegal on stolen land. Pero escúchenme, mi gente. Yo hablo por ustedes, por nosotros, por las madres que limpian casas mientras sus hijos sueñan en otro idioma, por los padres que llegaron solos, sin familia, sin papeles, sin miedo, y aún así construyeron una vida con sus propias manos. A todos los que cruzaron desiertos, mares, fronteras, a los que llegaron aquí buscando una oportunidad, los veo, los honro y estoy tan orgulloso de ustedes. Nos llaman ilegales, alienígenas, como que si no fuéramos humanos. Nos quieren quitar el Medicaid, la ayuda, la dignidad. Nos dicen que no merecemos salud, ni descanso y ni voz. Pero ¿saben qué? Nosotros hemos movido este país con nuestras manos cansadas. Hemos cocinado su comida, construido su casa, criado a sus hijos y aún así nos miran si no perteneciéramos. Nos llaman ilegales, pero lo ilegal es negar humanidad. Lo ilegal es mirar el dolor y no hacer nada. Lo ilegal es vivir en un país construido por inmigrantes y odiar al inmigrante. A ti que viniste solo, sin familia, sin inglés, con miedo pero con esperanza, te doy gracias. Gracias por tu coraje. Gracias por existir, porque tú eres la prueba viviente de que los sueños pueden sobrevivir el dolor. Esta también es nuestra tierra, y ellos no nos quieren escuchar. Gritaremos más fuerte, porque no vinimos a robar nada. Venimos a trabajar, a soñar y construir un futuro donde nuestros hijos no tengan que esconderse quiénes son. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. And yet, while we fight for a seat at the table, the king keeps feasting. They want us trapped in an endless left versus right war, while both parties bend the knee to corporate donors and foreign lobbyists. The price of everything, food, rent, tuition, while our futures are sold to the highest bidder. Every vote, every voice, every future, sold to the highest bidder. The kings in suits don't wear crowns, they wear donor pins. They say our foreign policy is about peace, but peace doesn't look like bombs over Gaza. It doesn't look like journalists being silenced, or children being buried beneath rubble funded by our own tax dollars. Studies from Harvard and the University of Chicago say it plainly. Our Middle Eastern policy revolves around protecting power, not people. And billion-dollar lobbying machines shape it all. They pour money into both parties, buying silence, buying loyalty, buying the right to keep killing without consequences. So when you see politicians on both sides of the aisle, stand up and call for defense. while hospitals are being destroyed. Ask yourself, who do they serve? Because it's not the families they represent. It's not the people starving under siege, and it's not us. We don't need puppets reading from a script. We need leaders with spines, people who swear allegiance to humanity and the Constitution, not to lobbyists, not to donors, not to any foreign government. And where does that leave us, Generation Z? We're the ones inheriting the mess, the serfs of this new feudal system, drowning in debt, working 2 jobs just to afford a future that feels smaller every year. We're the tired, the unseen, the generation that grew up watching our parents break their backbones just to keep the lights on. We're the children of single mothers, of factory workers, of janitors and cooks, the backbone of this country. And yet they tell us to blame the immigrants, people like my parents, to blame queer people, to blame each other. Because if we're busy fighting each other, we'll never fight them. A divided people will never challenge a king. They tell us to blame each other while wars are waged abroad, when children die in Gaza, while school shootings happen at home, while journalists are silenced or censored for telling the truth. 2 days ago, multiple journalists walked out of the Pentagon after press restrictions went into effect. Trump posted on Truth Social, if Hamas continues to kill people in Gaza, which was not the deal, we will have no choice but to go in and kill them. Thank you for your attention to this matter. We are witnessing a genocide happening, and no one can say they didn't know. The world is watching. This isn't about politics anymore, it's about morality. Because empathy is disappearing and apathy is winning. But silence is a choice. Neutrality is complicity. And numbness isn't peace, it's just the absence of feeling. Look, I'm not here in anger. I'm here in grief and I'm here in love. Because love, real love, is the most radical act in the world built on hate. The kind of love that refuses to let anyone be invisible. The kind of love that looks at a hungry child in Gaza and Flint in Mississippi and says, not on my watch. The kind that says you matter, even when the world says you don't. Lauryn Hill once said, it's more important to be righteous than to be right. And I believe that, because this isn't about proving a point, it's about proving you care. So if you feel overwhelmed, good. That means you're still alive. If you feel like crying, good. That means you haven't gone numb. If your heart is breaking, let it. Because that means the pain you know still knows what justice feels like. This isn't a call to despair, it's a call to wake up, to fight, to love louder, to stand taller, to live like we know how fragile and precious life really is. I stand here today as a child of immigrants, as a son of parents who came to this country with nothing but dreams and courage and faith. They didn't speak the language, they didn't have money, but they had something stronger, hope. And that hope built everything I am today. To every immigrant who crossed the border with fear in their chest but love in their heart. To every mother who worked double shifts so her children could wear a cap and gown. To every father who left this country behind so his family could have a chance at life. I see you, I honor you, and I thank you. A todos los que vinieron aquí solos, sin familia, sin dinero pero con un sueño, estoy tan orgulloso de ustedes. Ustedes que limpiaron casas, que trabajaron bajo el sol, que aguantaron humillaciones solo para ver a sus hijos estudiar. Este logro también es suyo. A nuestros abuelos con sus manos llenas de callos, por su corazón lleno de amor. A estas mamás que lloran en silencio, rezando que sus hijos vengan sanos de la escuela. A los padres que se quedaron atrás en sus países, pero mandaban cada centavo para vernos triunfar. A todos ustedes, gracias. They call us aliens, but we're not aliens, we're human. We're the heartbeat of this country. We build its homes, we grow its food, we clean its streets, we raise its children, and they still say we don't belong. But we do belong, because we've turned struggle into strength and sacrifice into legacy. We've built the foundation, now we build the future. A mi comunidad latina, nunca olviden de dónde venimos. Venimos de la lucha, del sacrificio y de la fe. Venimos de abuelitas que oraron sin descanso, de madres que curaron heridas con amor, de padres que cargaron ladrillos bajo el sol para vernos sonreír. Venimos del corazón, del alma, del fuego que no se apaga. Y ellos pudieron sobrevivir todo eso, nosotros podemos lograr todo. I stand here today, not just as Giancarlo, but as every child who translated for their parents at doctor's appointment. As every first-generation child balancing college applications on their own for the first time in their whole family history. As every student who's had to grow up faster because of all of this. We carry their sacrifices on our shoulders, but we also carry the strength in our blood, and today that strength shines. Somos el presente, el futuro, Somos la prueba que los sueños sí se cumplen. And when they tell us we don't belong, we'll stand taller and say, we're here and we're not going anywhere. To my parents, to every immigrant, to every dreamer, this moment is for you. For your pain, for your love, for your fight, for your legacy that will never die. Gracias por querer cuando nadie más lo hacía. Gracias por soñar, por llorar, por seguir. Gracias por darnos alas cuando ustedes no los tenían. Because without you, I shouldn't be standing here today. And because of you, I'll never stop fighting for our people. Because this speech just isn't mine, it's ours. It belongs to every worker still waiting for a fair paycheck. Every student carrying their parents' dream in their backpack. Every child of immigrant who learned to speak English and courage at the same time. It belongs to every person who's ever felt invincible. We may not have crowns, but we have the power of privilege. But we have something they'll never understand: community. We have hands that build, hearts that heal, and voices that refuse to stay silent. So today, let them hear us. From the border towns to the big cities, from the farms to the factories, from every home where someone still believes that love can change the world. Porque nuestro grito no es odio, es de esperanza. Es el eco de generaciones que se negaron a rendirse. Es el voz de un pueblo que dice con orgullo, estamos aquí, no nos vamos. We're the children of resilience, the architects of tomorrow, the proof that no wall, no law, no hate can stop human spirit. And when history asks what we did, let them say we loved louder. We stood taller, and we fought not for power, but for people. Because this land is ours, this future is ours, and this fight, this beautiful, righteous fight, has only just begun. No kings, no cages, no silence. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido.
God bless America and our people.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Giancarlo. Thank you. You know, I didn't understand a lot of what he said in Spanish, but I